Grass Valley has not only released EDIUS 9.2, but also the XRE Transcoder version 9. Alex, what's new in the version 9 of the XRE Transcoder?
Yeah, I'm showing XRE Transcoder 9 at the show here, and the new features in 9, the biggest new feature is support for what we call filter templates in the transcoding process. So now you can apply effects to the clips while you're doing that automatic conversion from one format to another using the transcoder. You can apply effects, special effects to the clips automatically without doing that on your own.
Maybe not everybody knows what a transcoder does. Maybe you can simply explain a little bit what does a transcoder typically do?
So a transcoder basically changes from one format to another. So if you say you have a file shot in like DV format or something, you can change that to MPEG using the transcoder. So basically any format that EDIUS supports in and any format that EDIUS supports for out, the transcoder can do that job automatically.
And you said all formats which EDIUS support are supported, but I think the XRE Transcoder has some additional formats.
Yes, correct. The XRE Transcoder also supports encoding to ProRes, which EDIUS cannot do because of format restrictions. But the XRE Transcoder can export out in formats like ProRes that EDIUS cannot do.
And this is not the FFmpeg ProRes, this is the real Apple ProRes, so this is licensed by Apple?
Yes, the real Apple certified ProRes. Yeah.
So on a Windows system, you can do a ProRes file. That's pretty nice.
Transcoding, yes, but yes. Yeah.
You can use either a GUI, where you can work with a transcoder. Maybe you can give us an example how that would work?
Sure. So I can just select a file by clicking this Add Job. So I can select the source file, and then I can select, say, an export format setting. Say, for example, I can select clips such as ProRes or QuickTime and set that as an export format. And I can select destination locations and set the destination, save, and it'll do a transcoding job. So that was a manual file format transcoding, but we can also do what's called setting a watch folder to do that process automatically. So I can select, in the setting, I can create a watch folder, which is basically selecting a area for source. And then I can set the format settings on what I want to convert those clips to. And I can select the output format, output location. And that will allow you to set this particular folder as a watch folder, where any clip that comes in will be converted to that format and exported out.
So that's a good thing for automation, that this can be done automatically, and it means also that if you have somebody in your network producing files, he doesn't really need to install the software. He can just export to a network folder, which then is used as a watch folder. Okay, but this is the XRE transcoder, and there is also a XRE. Maybe you can explain what the XRE is.
Yeah, the XRE was the original product that the transcoder was based on, but the XRE is the external render engine for EDIUS that allows the project rendering of EDIUS outside of an EDIUS system. So say if you finish editing in EDIUS, you can send your project to the XRE to be rendered and exported out as a file. So that was what it was originally built for, to work as an external renderer for EDIUS projects.
So, and that is something which can be used together with the workgroup version, and typically you would do that if you have maybe more than one editor who can, so that a group of people can use one render engine together.
It's specifically for like large-scale systems like news stations or productions where they want to continue to do their editing while exporting. So usually when exporting, it takes up the machine, but if you have the XRE, you can outload that to another machine.
So you can continue editing directly on the same machine. You just send the job to the XRE server, right?
Yeah.
And so the XRE Transcoder is based on the XRE server. That means that when you buy a XRE Transcoder, you also get the XRE server. So you can also transcode your projects.
Yes. Yep.
And now you said in the beginning that new is the possibility to not only transcode files, but also use some kinds of filters and overlays. How does that work?
Yes. So that's the new function in version 9 to support these new project templates, effect templates. And what they are is actually EDIUS projects. So you can create a project in EDIUS to become this template. And I'll show you how it's done. Inside EDIUS, so this is a normal EDIUS screen and EDIUS project. You can create a project with clips that have specific names. So with this placeholder, where it says placeholder here is the clip that gets replaced by the source clip that you want to convert to. So in this case, we're converting this 9:16 image to a 16:9 image. We are layering that clip on top, and on the bottom, we are having the same clip. We stretched it and we blurred it in the background. So this is a normal editing process in EDIUS, but it's a little bit complicated to do each time. But by creating this template and putting this to the watch folder, you can automate the process. So next time, you just throw in a 9:16 clip and it automatically creates the other end targeted clip.
So that means basically everything EDIUS can do, you can put the effects or filters, transitions on that placeholder, and wow, that gives you many possibilities.
Yes, so there's probably a lot of things that we also have never thought of that you might already think. But basically you can do things like apply filters, you can put in graphics, we also put in a title track here. Also you can do things like speed conversion, or like you can apply like a color correction filter to do HDR to SDR or SDR to HDR conversion. So there's a lot of things that you may be able to do. Also, you can put in like a top and a tail, so you can do a set like a starting video and an end video to every clip, or you can do things like that. You can be very creative in that aspect.
So yeah, a nice tool for every EDIUS editor, but I guess the price point is not so that every EDIUS editor will buy that.
So it is targeted for some kind of like production work. So in a case you have a lot of clips that you want to do things like this. So it is targeted towards like say broadcast stations or areas where there are needs for a lot of these kind of repeated operations.
Yeah. So the euro price without tax is I think 5,200 euros, something like that. So yeah, it
saves a lot of steps, and it avoids like having like 5 editing clients to do these things. But you can automate this with one machine. So it allows you to ease that process. So if you say you're like a corporation, you're making a lot of corporate videos with a video logo on it, and you're using video editing software to put that logo, you can automate that process with one XRE transcoder.
I think everybody who knows EDIUS is already now starting thinking of all possibilities you get by having the transcoder, the XRE Transcoder version 9. And are there any plans to make the functionality even bigger? Is this something? Right now you have one clip you can use. Is there the idea to maybe also use different information which can be use then in the transcoding process, like some variables or something?
So we're thinking of a lot of more future ways of how we can expand this. Yeah. So right now it's only one clip, but maybe to support like multiple clips in the future. So if you can have source A and source B and do some sort of automatic editing using this application. So we're looking into many possibilities of what we can do in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.